made 10 upgrades to our Class B RV that we thought were genius.
And one literally fell apart, like mid-trip.
So today we are sharing what worked, what didn't work, and fixing that upgrade.
Welcome back, guys. We're Bob and Hillary, and today we are going to share the 10 upgrades that we made to our van.
So what we love, what we totally regret, and what upgrade is holding up. And that is the reason for this video. We get a lot of emails wanting follow-ups on all of our upgrades because I think you guys either have done them yourselves or want to do them. Yeah. So today is where are all those upgrades at and how are they holding up?
Yeah, because I've been really bad about actually following up. I keep saying all the time, like, hey, we'll give you kind of a long-term review of this. And well, quite honestly, we haven't.
So stick around, we're sharing the hits and misses.
And today, I'm actually going to try and fix the table again for the fourth time? I don't know.
Third time.
Third time? This will be the third time? No, this will be the fourth time.
Fourth time.
Today, hopefully, this will be the final upgrade, repair, whatever. We're gonna make it work. So we're gonna kick things off with the first upgrade that I made to the van, right here at the back of the van with our Aluminess rear box and tire carrier with the ladder. This for sure is my #1 favorite upgrade. It has been so helpful to have all of this stuff back here. So we can put all of the dirty things, you know, hoses and leveling blocks, all that kind of stuff here in the box so we don't have to put it inside the van. I didn't know this when we bought our van, but it did not come with a spare tire, so we were able to then add a spare tire, put it here on the back of the van. Plus now we don't have to carry the ladder because we have this fixed ladder here at the back. So recently I did some research online and I found that you can't get this specific setup for the passenger side. You actually get kind of this, it's kind of more fixed panel that's on the back, so it blocks the rear window. I personally like this setup because it keeps that window clear, but you can still get, you know, this box setup, or I should say this box, but it's just a different setup with the way that it attaches to the back of the van. So one mistake that I made was wiring in the license plate light. I didn't do it quite right, and so I get an error that the light is out, even though it's not, on the dash every time I turn the lights on. So as a result, got to be a little more careful than I was. I actually cut the light off and then tried to just use the LED light. I'm assuming it doesn't draw enough voltage, so then it doesn't detect that it's working, and that's why I'm getting the error. It actually is lit, everything is fine, and I don't necessarily want to spend the $75 to buy the wiring harness that's this long to replace it, so we're just making it work. So that's my hit and a little bit of a miss.
Upgrade #2, which is a total miss in my opinion, is the bathroom. Okay, what the actual miss is for me, and I think Bob also, is putting a shower curtain in such a small space. I thought this would work very well. And it does for privacy, but that's it. To take a shower in here, it just gets things wet, the floor wet. It's not as easy. I don't know. So to me, and this was my idea, guys. So I take full responsibility, which I thought this would be better than the accordion style door that we had, which, I mean, I'm glad we took that door off. It would jump off track. It didn't allow us to fully fit in the bathroom because we are so tall. We're both 6 feet and over. This helped with us being able to use the toilet. I'll give a little demonstration. As you can see, my knees kind of come out. So that accordion style door would hit our knees. So this is actually a much better option for using the bathroom, just not for the shower. So we've thrown around ideas of getting a Nautilus door because I feel like you could still have your knees in because it's like flexible, but you'd get a full seal. So that's what we're thinking of doing. Let us know if you have any other better ideas.
One other thing I would add about my reluctancy to use the shower in our van is the way that it's constructed. So if you actually look, the side walls were put in first and they run basically right to the floor, and then the shower pan was put inside of that. So this edge right here is caulked. And so you essentially have the edge here and then the shower butts up against it. So any water that runs outside of the shower pan goes onto the floor inside the van underneath the cabinets. And I'm just not comfortable with that. So we don't really take showers in here unless we absolutely have to. Number 3, Plasti dipping the bumper and tires on the van. These are the stock wheels. I basically just cleaned them, Plasti dipped them. They're holding up really well. And then up here in the front, I Plasti dipped this section on the bumper. Now, as you can see, it's a little dirty, but it has held up really well actually with all of the bugs and everything on the road with no major issues. And I really like the way this looks with this nice black matte look. Now, I did struggle a little bit initially because you do have to do a really good job of cleaning the chrome in order to get the Plasti dip to stick. So I ended up having to like take off the first coat and then reapply it. It was kind of a pain, but it ended up turning out well. So one thing to remember, make sure you do a really good job cleaning this. And I actually used brake cleaner. I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but it worked really well, taking off all the wax and everything else that I had put on here to try to keep that chrome shiny. So clean it really well, use a Plasti dip, and it does look good and has actually held up really well over time. All right, number 4, a total hit was the digital rear view camera that we added to the back of the van. So we do have a built-in backup camera that came kind of stock with the van. Honestly, it's not very good, especially since we added the Aluminess stuff on the back. You're really just looking like straight down. This digital rear view mirror basically allows me to see everything that's going on behind the van so I can watch traffic. It is very, very useful when we're out on the highway. I can see what's going on. And it does have some other cool features. It tells me like which direction I'm going, how fast am I going. It's got a clock built into it. It also has a forward-facing camera and you can kind of scroll between a couple of different views. And it's recording all of the time. So we have a memory card in there that's just set to repeat over. So if we do have an accident or an incident, it's all documented right there. So all in all, I think this just was a very solid upgrade that I definitely recommend. If you do not have a digital rearview mirror in a vehicle this big, this is a great option. So you may already have this, but our van did not come with one, and I have really enjoyed having this. It makes it much safer while I'm driving. All right, so upgrade number 5 is gonna be the BF Goodrich KO2s. So we actually upgraded these from our factory stock tires. We actually did this right before we went on our 5,000 mile East Coast trip, and absolutely love these tires. So some of the questions that you guys have been asking us was specifically around how loud are they and the gas mileage. So in terms of how loud they are, no difference, or at least I've noticed no difference when we're out on the highway. The other thing would be gas mileage. Again, no real noticeable difference from an overall performance perspective with gas mileage. So we continue to be kind of in that 15 to 18 range, depending on...
Sometimes 13.
Right, depending on the terrain. Are we in the mountains or are we like heavily loaded down? So those are the two things that I've noticed really impact gas mileage. But also don't forget about wind, because we've had some experience recently in the wind and we know how impactful that can be on your gas mileage. And then the last one would be, where do we get them? We buy most of our tires from Costco. It's super convenient to go there. They have good pricing. And so check them out if you're interested in some of these.
Number 6. This is a miss for me, and I think you guys are gonna be shocked, but there's a reason why. These under cabinet storage, whatever you call them. I forget what they're called actually. I'll put the name right here because I'm just drawing a blank right now. The reason why I say these are a total miss is because we've been sleeping with our heads down this way, and I've hit my head on them quite a few times. So I think hindsight's 2020. I probably would have put it more in the middle so that my head isn't affected no matter which way we sleep, because you guys see us level our van a lot, but truthfully, we don't always level it. It has to be a really, really steep hill for us to actually get levels out and level the van. Otherwise, we just try to figure it out and make it work. And that being said, that makes us have to decide, depending on how the van is level, which side to sleep on. So obviously we could sleep with our pillows down here, or here's a pillow right there. So let me see, this is probably a terrible angle, but I think, see right here, it would be fine if I had like the storage like right there, because then I could still get into it and stuff. That would be fine. And I wouldn't be hitting my head. But when I'm over here, let's see if Bob could get this. But over here, when I get up at night, it's like, bam. Yeah, so I don't like them where they are. I actually like I like having this totally love the storage. We just need to move them. So totally our fault. But there's your, how do we like them? Oh gosh, there goes the bed. How do we like them, you know, now that we've had them probably 6 months, and what we would do differently if installing them again. Moving right along and staying in the bedroom is the twin beds. These are a total hit. We love them. We're so glad we did them. I know we get a lot of comments saying like, well, don't you guys want to sleep next to each other? You know, have the full bed back here. We had to weigh out our like needs and wants and what really worked. And for us, getting into storage, easy, overrode us being able to sleep right next to each other, if I'm being honest. So it is what it is. Now, the one thing I will say that I think we should probably fix is I think we wanted these beds, you know, as big as possible, but the hallway is really small. So if we shaved off just another little 1/2 inch, it would make the hallway a little bigger.
1/2 inch? You could probably take off like 3 inches.
We've thought about doing that, but yeah, total hit. Love the twin beds, would do them again over. We're just big fans, just having more space and having a hallway within the van.
So one thing that we did that was really important to making these beds comfortable was the Froli system. This Froli system makes these, I think these are 8-inch memory foam mattresses that we purchased from Costco and then like trimmed. And like Hillary said, we could probably trim a little bit more. Okay, a lot more. Adding the Froli system underneath and then being able to kind of adjust the tension. I like it a little bit firmer than Hillary, so I added the additional support in, left that off for Hillary. So the combination of the Froli system and these mattresses, I sleep better in the van than anywhere else, whether we're in a hotel or Airbnb, whatever. This is way more comfortable. So one miss that we have is actually a repair that I made down here underneath the van. This is our gray water outlet valve. We actually had a box that held the hose inside of it and the door blew off. We had all these issues with it. So I went ahead and ripped all that out and replumbed it. So now it just takes like a 2-inch like cam lock hose fitting, which works much better. However, we still have one leak way underneath the van. And I wouldn't say it's a leak, it just drips occasionally. So especially when it's cold, I notice a little drip or a little wet spot when we've been kind of parked for a long time and the gray tank gets full. So I count it as a miss, primarily because I can't get it to seal. What I should do is probably go and get a new gray water tank and because then it will have a new fitting on it, but I don't want to take it back to the dealership, so I'm gonna make it work. The next huge success would be Superspings. So we actually added the extra leaf pack and the bump stops from, so I think they're Sumosprings and Superspings. So we added the 2 combo here in the rear. Absolute game changer in how the van handles. It's has a lot more like stiffness in the rear so that like in the wind, there's no swaying whatsoever. The ride is much more comfortable with the additional Superspings, just because now you have additional capacity. So you're not overloading the stock suspension on the van. And I just have to say, it rides so much better. But all in all, very easy upgrades. I definitely recommend you guys doing that. So the last hit before we get to the repair, bug screens. Our van came stock with this like sliding door. We actually have the track here at the bottom still in place. Did not like that at all. It actually reduced the size of the door. Being 6'1", I was always hitting my head on it. Not to mention, it didn't seal very well, so it didn't actually keep the bugs out. It seemed kind of pointless to have it. So ripped that out, got additional clearance inside, and it's soft, so if I do hit it, it's not gonna hurt. This was super easy to install. We actually purchased this from Nellis Auction for like $5, so probably not gonna be able to find it there. I'm assuming this is some off-brand from Amazon, have no idea, but absolutely love these. The quality isn't the best, but they do work really well, and it was super cheap. So you have that configuration. Oh, you could also do this configuration. You can, pull it right out. So that's, see what I'm saying? Almost a success. But then you can unzip from the bottom, move it out of the way. Just super user-friendly. Number 10 is our table. I'm not gonna name any names, but somebody leaned on it, broke it, and this will be table number 4, but we've kind of broken most of the ones that have come with it. The factory one wasn't great. We've had a couple of iterations. This is our current situation. We have a Lagoon table mount. I actually really like it, high quality product. However, because of the size of our table and where this post was mounted, when you lean way out here on the edge, it tips like this, and that's why it broke. So we're gonna try to find something a little more stable, and we're gonna go with this standard leg mount. It basically can adjust height, and the top comes off so that we can actually remove the tabletop. So we're gonna give this a try. I think it's a little bit better. This way we can anchor this right to the floor and secure it properly in the center of the table, and hopefully that will prevent anyone else from breaking it. All right, let's get started. All right, so I did some digging and I found that the floor kind of in this portion of the van is built out of 3/4 inch plywood. So I've got enough meat to kind of drill through and anchor the leg properly. And if I have a slightly longer screw, it's not gonna actually impede the drawer from functioning because it's actually, I don't know, like maybe an inch lower than that. So should be good. Perfect. Step 1, done. So I just took out this little hinge that was from the previous
Original.
Rev 1 table. Took that bracket off, and that's what I'm gonna anchor, or where I'm gonna anchor the new table to, against the wall so that it can't move. Never throw your pieces and parts away from your van. So in here is a bag of miscellaneous junk that I've taken out of the van, and I'm going to reuse a couple of these brackets. I believe these were from the window shades, and I'm going to use it to anchor the edge of the table. Okay, here we go. That's looking good. So I'm gonna anchor to the wall first. So I'm gonna need you to actually like hold this corner and push it in while I...
Okay. Okay, do you need me to lean against it?
Well, you tell me, I can't see up there.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna move it.
Okay, dang it. God, if you break that. Getting old. Okay. All right, if anybody breaks that, we're getting a new van, because that ain't going anywhere. It's literally attached to the, sorry.
Be careful.
It's literally attached to the frame of the van over on this side, in addition to this center leg that's right here. So if you break this, you have done some serious damage to the van at this point.
But you're happy. This table's going nowhere.
I am happy. This table cannot go anywhere. One thing that I like is the table seems to be in line with this armrest. So getting in and out from the cab back to the coach should be more clear.
Better. That I actually was hoping that, because watch, turn that table.
This is a chair.
Sorry, turn that chair.
So yeah, you do have better access kind of through here.
Which I love that.
So you can more easily transition to the front.
Oh my gosh, this is solid. This is solid. I love it.
You need to scooch over. Oh. Scooch your booty over.
Okay, it's not really enough room for both of us any longer.
What? That's fine. I love it.
Fine. I love it. Good job, Bob. High five.
Yes.
Proud of you.
So,
okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, those are our 10 upgrades kind of upgrade update.
Yeah, updates.
Upgrade update.
Yeah, upgrade updates, hits and misses.
Yeah.
Let us know if you've done any of these and how you liked them, and if you want to do any of these, and if there's anything that you're like, hey, come on, Bob and Hillary, do this one.
There's something else you forgot. I'm
Yeah.
sure there is.
I'm sure
Let us
there
know.
is. Let us know.
And we'll follow up. And I promise we will this time.
Here's the deal. A lot of you email us. I just want to apologize because our emails get so much like stuff every single day, and just whatever. And sometimes those get lost. And so we thought this video would help with that problem.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I'll read an email and go, oh, Bob needs to answer that later. And then it gets lost in like 50 to 100 emails, right? And then I never get to go back to it and whatever. So we apologize if we have gotten an email from you and haven't answered it. And if that did happen and we haven't answered your question, can you just send it again so it can pop back at the top of our emails?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And one other quick update, if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But also, please check out our new website.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Vancaskeys.com. We've been working really hard on it. There are some really cool features there. We're trying to build a kind of a one-stop shop for all of our videos, our blogs, our Amazon,
our merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise.
We're going to be, you'll hear it first. We're going to build a community tab and affiliates tab so that everything's in one place. And I just want to shout out to our son, Ethan, because he's actually the one that built the entire website. He codes, and I don't really understand the techie side of it. He's our tech guy. And he built the website, coded the whole thing from the ground up. So thanks, Ethan.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Until next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.